In this video, we're looking at the Mangala Sutta, verse 7. Dhanancha dhammacharyacha jnatakanancha sangaho anavajjani kammani etam mangalamuttamam. Now, call up the text. Dhanancha dhammacharyacha jnatakanancha sangaho anavajjani kammani etam mangalamuttamam. Dana, we all know, of course, just means giving. It means it's the act of giving, and it's also the moral quality of generosity. If somebody is loving and giving, the giving there refers not just to the physical act, but to the moral attitude, the attitude of mind behind it. So danancha dhammacharyacha. So generosity and dhammacharya. The charya, iPad, from the well-known root char, meaning to go. And this is one of those roots that can form a verbal noun by the addition of ya, rather like as we have, for example, vid becomes vidya, literally seeing, and then by extension knowledge, and it's this vidya that becomes in Pali vidya. So the Pali vidya is vidya, seeing. So equally we have in Sanskrit charya, literally just going. But more specifically, and often in a Buddhist context, your charya, your going, has the meaning of your conduct in the way you live your life, is the conduct of life. That's the Sanskrit way of putting it. Charya, just adding ya to the root. Pali wants to avoid this consonant cluster, which is why we get in Pali this inserted e, charya. That's why you will see, for example, Sanskrit Arya. That's cognate with the Aryan, often translated as noble. And in Pali, two things happen. Rather than the long vowel followed by the consonant cluster, which is a heavy syllable, Pali will change that into two light syllables. So ya. So Arya, Arya. It's the same word. The Arya basically is like the way the Prakrit speakers of that time pronounce Arya, Arya. So Charya, or Charya in Pali, so Dhammacharya basically means leading one's life according to the Dhamma, according to the teaching of the Buddha. So being generous, Dhamma life, leading one's life in accordance with the Dhamma. Jnatakanam cha sangaho. Sangaha, we've had the sangraha. As I was explaining in I think it was the previous verse, literally, the original meaning was gathering together, and then by extension, support. Puttadarasa sangaho, the support of one's wife and children. Here's nyatakanancha sangaho, and the supporting of one's relatives. There's the genitive plural here, nyata, nyataka. It's from this nyataka. It's from our root nya, to know. It makes a regular past participle, nyata. Sorry, Jnata, literally known, and you can make, if you add the nominalizing suffix ka, that's basically something that turns an adjective into a noun. A jnataka is a person who is known to you, and by general extension, that means one's relatives. In fact, if you think of the English word kin, your kin, and ken, to know, as the people you know and your relatives, so you get a slight merging of the idea of knowing and being related to someone. You've got the same phenomenon occurring in Sanskrit here, and in Pali, it's just, as you'd expect, Jnataka. So Sanskrit Jnataka, Pali Jnataka. So Jnatakanancha Sangaho, and the Sangaha and the supporting Jnatakanam of one's relatives in the neuter plural, genitive plural. Anavajanikamani. Now the kamma, it's a neuter noun. Um, Kamma act, as we know, and it makes its neuter plural kamma kammani, a regular neuter plural. So acts here, I think it just means acts generally. Anavajani, blameless acts. I'll explain the avajja and anavajja. So it's from the root vad, meaning to say, and you have vadya, with the suffix ya. This is one of the ways of forming the future passive participle. So vadya would literally be sayable or speakable, that which can or can properly be said or spoken. But I'm not sure I've ever actually encountered it in this non-negated form here, but you very frequently see it in the negated form, avadya in Sanskrit and avajja in Pali. So vad, to say or speak, vadya, sayable or speakable, avadya, Pali avajja, unsayable, unspeakable. So unspeakable is, of course, when you talk about in English about something being unspeakable, it's so horrible you don't even want to talk about it. Here it just means blameworthy, that which presumably something you wouldn't want to be said about you. So the avajja means blameworthy, unspeakable, but always with that meaning, nothing wrong with it. So if it's anavajja, not unspeakable, literally, therefore means blameless. So here we've got anavajjani kamani, literally non-unspeakable acts, therefore blameless acts. What you do, how you behave, is blameless. Etam mangalam uttamam. By the way, this avajja, in Latin, this root tha, meaning to speak. By the way, in Greek, classical Greek, pe, pronounced phi in modern Greek, we pronounce pe in classical Greek. It has that same meaning of to speak. So in Greek, the prophetis or prophet, the prophet, it's come to English, is one who speaks forth. Nothing to do with telling the future, but prophet, the original meaning of one, prophetis, one who speaks forth. And from fa in English, in Latin, sorry, we get the fama, which comes into English as fame, because people speak about you. If something is infamous, That's the idea of unspeakable, that which is the same idea as avajja, unspeakable, infamous. And equally, for example, nefas, ne in Latin, the prefix not to be, nefas, and we have the, we have the nefarious. Talk about nefarious deeds. Well, nefarious is literally unspeakable, that which should not be spoken. So again, infamous and nefarious, which are basically variants of that same root fa in Latin, have the same meaning as avajja, not to be spoken of, blameworthy. Right, so I'll just read it through again, and then we'll wind up this video. Danan cha dhammacharya cha nyatakanan cha sangaho anavajjanikam manti etam mangalamuttamam. And once more, danan cha dhammacharya cha nyatakanan cha sangaho anavajjanikam mani etam mangalamuttamam. And that's it for this video.